Hello, friends from the comic book world. My name is G,
And I'm Hector.
and we're here to discuss our picks for the April 3rd, 2023 FOC. Hector and we work for Penguin Random House and manage sales into the international direct market. So the titles you'll see are those that we can sell around the world. And I'm like I'm like trying to think of what else to talk about. I
Social
almost
media.
forgot social media.
Yeah.
Yes. So we have on Twitter, aside from this YouTube channel, of course, we have Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at PRH International Comics, where you'll find our news and updates on those channels. So definitely check us out on there. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get started with our picks.
If I can make it work. There we go. And the first pick is one of my picks. I picked this the Unwritten Compendium 1 trade paperback. This is written by Mike Carey, illustrated by Peter Gross. And this is uh, not new, obviously, but it's the first time in Black Label. So this was from Vertigo back in the early 2000s or mid 2000s, I believe. And then, 2010s, I mean, and then it collects it issue 1 through 30 plus the a one shot that they did, which is sort of a prequel story, sort of telling a little bit of the origin story of the main character. If you don't know the story, this is the character you see here is it's called Tom Taylor, and he's sort of a Z celebrity because his dad wrote a series of books, kind of like Harry Potter, very much like Harry Potter, where the main character is called uh, Tommy Taylor, and it's very similar looking in the description, like similar to him, and the fans of the books always kind of think that he's the sort of the physical representation of the character, and they say that he is the character, and the character obviously has magical powers and all that, and the fans kind of accosting him with that. So it's kind of like side fame, and at the same time it becomes like kind of a problem for him, but at the same time he starts realizing he starts getting these powers, and part of the powers is that he can go into stories, including his father's books, and obviously, and this is when he's an adult and his dad has passed away. So there's a lot of secrets and things that happen throughout the story. It's a very interesting story. I did read something very interesting while researching for this book, is that in an interview, Mike Carey, the author, said that his biggest inspiration was an interview he saw with Christopher Milne, the son of A. Milne, the author of Winnie the Pooh, and how his dad based Christopher Robin on him, and he always felt like his dad kind of used him and his, because he wrote Christopher Robin inspired on him, that he used his kind of cashed out on him and who he was. So that I thought was really interesting and kind of gave me another perspective too on this story. So again, this is not new, but now it's coming into Black Label. It's very cool, sort of sci-fi psychological, fantasy psychological story, deals with celebrities and fame, and also with a lot of what is real, and stories and content and all that. So check it out.
Right, and then next is The Legend of Luther Arkwright. This is created, written, and illustrated by Brian Talbot. And this is actually the third installment in the Arkwright saga. So the previous titles were The Adventures of Luther Arkwright, followed by The Heart of Empire, and now The Legend of Luther Arkwright, as you'll see here on the slide. And if you didn't know, Brian Talbot is noted as a very important comic creator from the UK. He is lauded as the pioneer of the graphic novel form and is very much respected by his peers, especially in the UK as well. Uh, Neil Gaiman wrote a really nice like comment about this particular series as well, so he's a fan. And this one, just to give you a general premise of the protagonist here, the hero Luther can move between parallel worlds by will, and he has like a companion that I'm like I didn't want to say that because it automatically like in my mind I'm thinking of Doctor Who.
Oh yeah.
But
Who
anyway,
knows? That might be a connection.
anyway, he has a companion, Rose, who's a
Oh, and
telepath.
it's
I
a
know,
companion is
even the
Rose?
name, even the
Okay.
that's why I keep thinking of it. I didn't want to say the term, but like, I mean, that's immediately what I think of when I'm like
Of course.
talking about the premise. But he has a companion, Rose, who's a telepath who can communicate with her incarnations across the parallels. And they're agents that monitor the parallels for disruptors, and disruptors are those who could destabilize the multiverse. And so now
Awesome.
I particularly wanted to choose this week just because the art is very beautiful. As you can see here, it's so detailed. Like,
Mhm.
what? Horrific. I love it.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah,
Very
highly
haunting.
recommend checking this. Yep. Highly recommend checking this one out.
Very cool. All right. And let's now go into the cover picks for this week. And the first one is one of my picks is Cult of Carnage Misery #1. And this is the Inhuman variant. I mean, look at this. It's so cool. Um, I'm looking forward to this series with Mystery having her own sort of one shot, or I think it's a miniseries. But also, this art is like so beautiful and scary at the same time, which Inhickly does really, really, really well. Um, yeah, that's all we need to say about this one, I think.
And my cover pick is Steven Wars Scarlet Sin. This is issue #1 by Michiro Arita. This is the variant. And if you didn't know, Michiro Arita is very much well known for doing the Pokemon art for the cards, the trading cards. But in particular, it's the Charizard and the Pikachu, like the original Charizard and Pikachu. I mean, if you've been collecting like back then, you know exactly the look of those.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like very well known because of that. And this art, very beautiful. Love it. I feel like it would be very striking in person, like when you have it physically.
Yeah, yeah, like a lot of yeah, it, you got to see it like in paper, of
Yeah, yeah.
course.
Like
Yeah,
it looks very pastel here, but because like it kind of looks like sketchy in a way because of
yeah,
the gray and everything, I feel like it would look really cool in person.
yeah.
So, yeah, this is my pick.
Yep, and continuing with Demon Wars because we love Peach Momoko, of course. But this is also another non-Peach Momoko cover for this book. This is Jen Bertel, uh, the 1 in 25 variant. I love Jen Bertel, and this is such a classic Jen Bertel, and I think this is a really cool character. Um, for her to draw. This is the Scarlet Sin or Scarlet Witch version of Demon Wars. And I love how the character turned out, but also the flames and how it, yeah, it's sort of a like a demonized geisha kind of, which is great. So I really look forward to this one too. Very cool.
And of course, we have Edge of Spider-Verse issue #1. This is the Scotty Young variant. It's just a lot of fun.
Yep.
Like a very typical Scotty Young fun cover art that you'll see here. And yeah. and you have these characters trying to get out of the web,
Yeah.
and some are very frustrated.
Yeah. You could tell Silk really is not
Yeah, it's
not
not
happy at
really
all.
doing it's not very doing well, yeah.
Next up, oop, there we go. Um, Another one of my pick is Star Wars: Return of the Jedi, Lando #1. This is a Rosa variant, 1 in 25. Obviously, we have several books from the Return of the Jedi sort of timeline. This is one of them because it's the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. And this cover in particular, I really loved it because it's Lando with the Lando Calrissian, the Billy D. Williams version, uh, with the getup he had when he snuck into Jabba's palace. Obviously, he's in Tatooine because it has the two moons in the background, the two suns. Sorry, not moons. And yeah, and I think he might be like either ready to sneak in there or he was already in there or something. It looks amazing. I love the colors and I love the way they look, and it's one of my favorite characters in Star Wars that was underutilized in the movie. So I love whenever something comes out from Orlando. So it's great.
And then
Next,
we have X-Men Before the Fall, Sons of X, issue number 1. This is the Martin Simmons variant. I just it looks like a piece of artwork. It's
yeah,
it just speaks for itself. It's gorgeous. Martin Simmons is also based in the UK. So I need to check out more of his stuff because this is
yeah,
incredibly beautiful. It's a great representation of Legion. And yeah.
very cool. And as always, we always finish up with some news. So why
Mhm.
don't you go ahead, T?
So, Seven Seas announced this like middle grade series, and it's called Coral's Reef. Although it can definitely be enjoyed by adults as well. This is actually a new original graphic novel that's going to be full colored. And Coral, as you'll see on the front cover here, is a sea sprite. And just like any teenager, she does like normal teenager stuff. So likes to go surfing, hang out with friends, helps her mom out at the dress shop, and her life is going really smoothly, really well. But then all of a sudden, this dreamy fire Ifrit named Nick Inferno, which I love the name.
Yeah.
Like, that isn't a sign based on the name. But Nick Inferno comes to town, who turns her life upside down. I mean, like, how could she not crush on a boy who is literally burning hot? So, uh, so that's the premise here. So really excited for this again, coming out of Seven Seas.
Very, very cool.
And that's it for our picks for this week. As always, we enjoy doing these and definitely come back for more. We do this every week. And yeah. And is there anything else that I'm missing?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Oh, the social media. We're on social
Uh,
media aside from the
yeah,
YouTube channel.
it's going to be in the description linked
Yeah,
below,
it's gonna
so
be
that
there.
you can access it there. So yeah. So enjoy your day, everyone,
Thank
and
you.
bye.
Bye.